Good morning. Well, today we have a weird video for you. I am heading to southern Idaho to look at a horse property, and a cool one at that. This is a property that has not one, but two arenas on it. It has one big outdoor arena and then a smaller indoor arena. It has mountain views, and it is right at 6 acres. So definitely bigger than what we have now. Not a dream forever property. We'd like something bigger eventually, but this could be a really good stair step property. So Alyssa is staying home and working today. She's editing. We got to keep those videos rolling. And so Alyssa's staying home and editing. I'm filming for Alyssa to see the property. So what we're going to do is we'll just bring you along and show you what I filmed to show Alyssa, and check out a really cool Idaho horse property. So heading south. It's going to be a great day. Here we go. Here's something I've been wondering about while I'm driving down here, and hopefully someone who's a little farther along on their journey can share in the comments. But I'm curious what the right move is. So we're very thankful for the property we currently own. We would love to have a big, like, legit horse rescue, horse ranch type facility in the future. But what I'm curious about is the right move to stair step your way up, or since we already have a place that we enjoy, would it be better to just stay there, keep it simple, and save up money, and then instead of like skip that middle step, just take a little more time, save a little longer, and then buy just a little bigger, nicer, more finished property versus taking that middle step and buying something that's not exactly what we want, but that is moving the needle in the right direction. I don't know if anyone has any experience with that, but if you do, we would love to hear your input. This is kind of a big decision.
If you guys have been around for a while, you know that we have been searching for a larger property for quite some time. We love where we live, and we do our best to practice contentment. But we have worked really hard, and the only thing standing in our way of taking that next step is more space. Although we've come close to purchasing a bigger property, it just hasn't worked out. We've been watching this particular listing for a while and finally decided we needed to take a look. While we're trying not to be too picky, we do have some criteria for the next place. Space for our equines being one of them. We really value the comfort of our equines over our own. So a nice home isn't at the top of the priority list, which works out because this place actually has no home. We purchased a living quarters trailer last year, and we are totally fine living in that for a while if needed. I actually lived in a trailer with no power, heat, or running water for a little over 2 years. So I'm completely okay roughing it for a bit if it means we can keep building towards our dream life.
All right, made it to the property. This is a property that's for sale by owner. And so I just got to meet with the folks that have used this for years, and they're super nice. They have a couple daughters who gentled mustangs, and now they're off to a barrel race down in Heber City, Utah. So super cool people. They hunt and ride just like us. And they said I could go ahead and just film the property and maybe even post it on our channel. So that was super nice of them. And so I'll just show you around real quick. Let's start with the outdoor arena because it's awesome.
A spring snow squall came through and covered everything, but this arena is 150 by 200 feet. It has a nice sandy base to it, so it already has a really good footing. It also has a roping chute and a cattle return, which is really fun in case we did want to get some cows and practice roping at some point.
This outdoor arena is awesome. They just have panels. They kind of look like Red River like we have in our dry lot. So they're not concreted in or anything, but it's a nice big arena. You can see it has nice sand underneath, even though there's a little coating of spring snow on it today. But nice big arena, and the coolest scene, mountains in the background. It's absolutely beautiful. That's all public land back there. And she said you can ride about a half hour off the property. Public land almost all the way to Wyoming, which is pretty sweet. Let's check this out next. Over here we have all their little separate stalls. Not super tall panels, but they would work for non-wild stuff for sure. This was a goat pen. It has a little goat house back here in the background. They said their daughters had 4-H goats, and this is where they kept them. Then as you walk down here past all these little corrals, horse pens, there's another cool little thing down here on the south end of the property. Down here, this is pretty awesome. We have a little creek.
As we've been looking for a place, we've also been getting clearer on what we actually want to build. We've always had a heart for the equines that need a bit more time. Mules and horses that come from loose sales or just aren't in the right situation. Mustangs that are up for adoption and need gentled. Our goal is to be able to bring them in, work with them, and then find them really solid homes. And as we grow, we'd love to expand into that more. Maybe growing our own herd of seasoned and trustworthy equines that could be part of small retreats, trail rides, and just giving people a chance to experience this lifestyle alongside us. So when we look at a property, it's not just about where we're going to live, it's about whether it can support that vision. We need space, we need functionality, and we need something that can grow with us over time. Something with access to trails, privacy, beautiful views, all of that is a must.
So here I'm walking down the main frontage road. Property is all along back here, and it looks like there's only maybe one house past this property, so it's on a super quiet road, which is nice because filming when there's people around is kind of awkward. So it's pretty cool. The arena is back here behind me. Mountain views from the north all the way around, basically all the way to the south. Then there's a little gap down the valley, and then more mountains that way, just how we like it. But what I wanted to show you is there's a little second entry into the property right here. Second entry into the back pasture, and then we'll walk up here to the back property line. There's a little piece of flagging out here. One thing I like about this property a lot is it lays out really good for setting up rotational grazing or separate pens. Or one of the coolest things I think is you could have like a mini U-shaped track system. It would come out around the back of the arena and then on the other side, and it would have kind of like 2 big chunks and a little track in the middle. And I just love that. You could have feed on one side, water on the other, so your stock can really be walking around, moving naturally. So I love the way this place lays out. There's the property line, and it runs basically straight over that little calf. One looking at us. Oh man, this place has basically everything that you need for an Idaho horse property. We'll go check out the indoor arena next. Pretty crazy to think about going from 0 arenas to 2 arenas. One big outdoor with the mountain view and one indoor for when it's snowy. The only thing it doesn't have is a house, I guess, but nah, not important. We got horse pens, arenas, and a mountain view. Who needs a house anyway? We got a living quarters trailer now. So this is the other property line right here. You can see they have horses. Just a nice little pasture. One thing that's kind of nice is it's just super quiet back here. You only have one neighbor, not even that close. And then other than that, it's just pasture all around. I could see eventually building just a little tiny, like 800 square foot cabin right here next to the little creek. Mountain views, see the arena, see your little horse pens. That would be pretty awesome. You can see that little lean-to. The main peak doesn't have much wobble to it, but there's a little wobble from the supports above the car there. But this indoor arena is solid. You can tell the roof is just dead straight, and I'll show you the trusses when I get inside. You can see why it's held up so well. All right, you ready to check out the best part of this whole deal? It's hard to imagine anything much better than that, but indoor arena, Alyssa and I have thought is way out of our price range, and it is across the whole United States. There's like none for sale under $1 million except this one. So let's go check it out. And here's a little tack room, super nice. Little hooks for hanging bridles. Cool little barnwood cubby, basically. And a really nice little finished space in here, just where you can trim hooves, or they said they'd have the farrier come out and they'd shoe their horses in here and just kind of in out of the weather, whether it's super hot or snowy. Just a nice clean space to hang your bridles, keep your saddles, and I don't know, clean up your horses, I guess. And this section is just a spot for stock to come in out of the weather. They could come out of the back pasture, which is out that door, and come in here and get out of the snow or rain or sun or whatever.
If it was permittable, this little section would also be a great place to build an apartment in this barn, and maybe we could just stay in there for a while, especially in the winter months when it'd be really hard to keep the pipes from freezing in our living quarters trailer.
Just so we can keep our bearings, I'll show you out this back door from this little shelter area into the pasture. Property goes clear to that fence right there. And here's the arena.
Even though this property is larger than our current property, 6 acres would really fill up fast for all of our future plans. It's not a necessity, but it would be really nice to have our own hay fields to save on the cost of hay, and more so just have control over the quality of hay. While this property was 16 acres at one point, they've divided off 10 of it and that's already sold, so the remainder is 6 acres. There isn't irrigation, but it seems like it grows decent grass, and it's kind of sub-irrigated from that little creek that flows through.
All right, real quick before we look at the indoor arena, show you around the back edge to the property line on the north side of the structure here. So it goes actually from that privacy fence right there straight across to this T-post fence line. You can see where the neighbor's pivot stop is right there, and that's basically right on the property line. And the west boundary is out there by that tumbleweed in the middle of the screen there. All right, let's check out the best part of this whole deal. Let's go check out the indoor arena. So I have these automatic waterers. They're heated. They said they're really nice. They said they never go back to running hoses after having those.
Growing up in Western Oregon, where it rains most of the fall, winter, and spring, an indoor arena was always a dream of mine. Moving to Colorado and then to Idaho, it didn't feel quite as necessary with the lack of precipitation. But here, with around 75 inches of snowfall a year, an indoor arena starts to sound really nice again. We've also talked about possibly buying a place in Arizona or New Mexico to spend the winters. And if we went that route, an indoor arena might not be quite as useful to us.
Well, how cool is this? This indoor arena, it is 60 feet across by 120 feet long. So it's not huge, but plenty big enough. You can lope around in here. You work with your horses and mules all winter. It has really good footing. Look at that. They said they have water set up so you can water it down and keep the dust knocked down in here. And just a really solid building. I don't see any drip marks on the ground or anything like that, so pretty watertight. And who can picture Alyssa just loping rooster around in here all winter? I feel like she would just absolutely be in heaven. Pretty sweet. This is cool.
This lean-to area outside is set up that it can have 4 stalls, but they mostly said they use it for hay storage, and that's probably what we would use it for as well. It needs a little TLC, but I think it's fairly sturdy overall. There isn't a great spot to park our horse trailer in and out of the weather. The only place we could really put it would be inside the indoor arena. We could park it on the edge of that and just put some panels around it so we could still use most of the arena even with our living quarters parked inside. You can see that over the years, probably cows have really dented in the siding on this building, but they've repainted it and it really looks pretty nice. There's plenty of room for some Mustang pens and a Mustang corral. And the nice thing is you could even build pens and put in a corral in the arena so that you could just bring them in during the winter and work them inside the indoor arena. Even with all the snow melting off the roof, there wasn't any signs of big leaks inside the building. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to live in a barn, and this place would be awesome to have an apartment built inside the barn. While this property could be a bit of a stair-stepper for us, it's not our dream property. Ideally, we'd really like 20 plus acres, and direct access to public land would be a huge plus. This place would definitely give us the ability to expand a little, and it already has some amazing facilities. But as you guys know, we are pretty averse to debt. So we have to really think about whether it's worth taking on a larger payment for a property we'll likely outgrow in just a couple of years. It's honestly hard to know what the right choice is, and we feel a little crazy for even considering passing up such a nice place.
Well, that's pretty much it. It's amazing horse property here in southern Idaho. Mountain views, little creek flowing through it most of the time. I guess it doesn't flow all the time, but nice little creek, good hay storage, indoor arena, outdoor arena, public land close by. So let's see if Alyssa and I can, maybe if each of us sell one kidney, we should be able to probably buy this, maybe even in cash. So wish us luck. Wish us luck on that front. But no, in all seriousness, this is crazy. It's crazy that something like this is somewhat affordable. If anyone has any tips or ideas, seriously, I'm not joking anymore, about living in a horse trailer in this type of setup, let us know, because it's something we're seriously thinking about doing, sacrificing for a season to have a nice property for our horses and mules. So if you have experience with something like that, drop it in the comments, because we'd love to hear any tips or pointers or words of wisdom or warnings. Any of that we'd love to hear. All right, I'm gonna head home back to Alyssa, show her this footage, and see what she thinks. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
We do our best to trust that God has a plan for us, and we both just have a feeling that with the added stress of trying to sell our place to purchase this one, we're not sure it's big enough for what we really want in the future. It would be better for our equines than what we have now, but is being patient the right move? Do we stay and wait for the property that feels more like a forever place? It's hard to know the right answer, but I think we'll get a feeling when it's meant to be. We'll add the listing for this property in the description in case any of you are interested in taking a look for yourselves. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll continue to bring you along as we search for our dream horse property. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to join along.